I'm not worried about converting you to my side. My side does not rely on whether or not you like me. It relies on whether or not the facts are correct. I don't usually respond to right-wingers in the comments because it's sort of like if you're having a debate about the historical Jesus and somebody bursts in and they're like, "You're just angry at history because they didn't make the Flintstones chewables in grape." You're not going to interrupt your debate to look up whether or not that's real. You're going to politely ignore them for a moment so that they know that they're idiots, and then move on with polite conversation. I just did a video about AOC and a whole lot of right-wingers were diving in with their normal nonsense, not really addressing any facts, just sort of being terrible human beings. I thought, oh, what the hell? It's called Salty Saturday. I'll smoke you like a Christmas ham. Get this out of the way. Possibly insane. No, we can confirm that. It says Shreds, she didn't accomplish anything. No, Shreds was referring to her dismantling of their character, which is lacking. Andrew says, she sure did. LMFA, oh, like when my 8-year-old yells about going to bed at 8 p.m. Yeah, she was talking about some rather serious issues there. You might want to take it seriously yourself. I realize your side does nothing but performative nonsense, and they've trained you to expect that from the other side as well. It's sort of this thing where you're like, oh, I'm going to tap my nose and tell you, hey, look, I'm going to wave my hands and make a big deal out of something you know is nonsense, and that means the other side's probably doing it too. Except they're not. What she's talking about is Ilhan Omar getting kicked off a committee for nonsense reasons. I know you don't know who Ilhan Omar really is. I know you don't know what the committee is. I know you don't know the circumstances because you are trained. You are trained, my friend. You're not my friend. I don't like you, but you are trained to ignore facts. Here are the facts. Marjorie Taylor Greene was kicked off a committee for saying some wild and irresponsible shit. We're talking about the Jewish space lasers lady. Yeah, she said some really irresponsible things. Ilhan Omar criticized Israel. The difference being, one is a group of people, one is a country. By the way, her criticism was spot on. Israel has some real problems with how they treat Palestinians. I know you don't understand the context of any of that. You're a right-winger. You don't know anything. You should probably make an effort to understand that when you leave a shitty comment. This was a complete embarrassment on AOC's part. It's like when a child complains when she doesn't get her way. Yes, who could imagine having a childish reaction to political commentary? Against women of color, what's a woman? I'm not surprised you don't know that answer. I guess I missed the shredded part. I saw an immature TikTok star. What? Acting like a black preacher? Wow. I can imagine what she was like opening Christmas presents and she didn't get everything on her list. Ah, yes, the classic didn't get everything on the Christmas list tantrum. Was it named Buttercup? I'm just assuming you had a pony growing up. So far, all you guys have talked about the packaging, not the content. Fair enough? Not fair enough. You're idiots. I won't say she tore into anything. All you guys do is talk identity politics. Really? Really? Coming from a right-winger. Wow. No one cares that she was Muslim or anything for that matter. But you do. And I think you care that AOC is a woman. I think you guys do nothing but identity politics. That's y'all. That is all of you doing that nonsense. Why? Because I've done a whole lot of videos about a whole lot of people. And the first time I got a wave of complaints from little bitches was when it was a woman up there putting you in your place. Well, add me to that, add me to the list of the folks doing just that. LOL, what a joke, says some asshole on the internet. Don't tell me to close the border. Don't tell me I don't sound educated. Speech of that fire. Strong members? Where's your criticism? Where's your insight? I don't see it. LOL, what a joke. Yes, you are. Okay, so how is this attacking women of color? Explain it to me. Well, I did earlier, but I'll do it again. Ilhan Omar is a qualified, responsible adult. She made a criticism of Israel, for which, again, not Jews everywhere, Israel, the country. The response to this on the right was to call her an anti-Semite, and then years later, after she's already spent years on the committee she's on, to kick her off that committee as revenge for Marjorie Taylor Greene getting booted off a committee she absolutely should have been, because Marjorie Taylor Greene harasses kids that survived school shootings. That's David Hogg. She harassed AOC outside of her office. She and a bunch of goons camped outside her door and were screaming at her through it, taunting her. A group of people. You have no interest in finding any more details on that because, and I can't stress this enough, you are a useful idiot. As in, you're dumb and immoral people have a use for that because you're easily manipulated and therefore led around and do henchman stuff. I'll put this in terms you'll understand. If this were a cartoon, you would have a number on your chest. You'd be wearing a shirt that has a number on it, and you'd be with a bunch of other goons that have shirts with numbers on it. And every time Batman or Robin punched you in the mouth, a bam or a whap would come up. You understand? Because you are a dumb henchman. For villains. This is a joke channel, right? Kinda. Sure. So what has AOC been doing in her term? Been fighting right-wingers. What has she accomplished? Fighting right-wingers. Hell, make her a presidential candidate? Maybe. She wouldn't be bad. I wasn't thrilled with some of her votes. I hated that she tried to pull some nonsense with a vote on Ukrainian aid. She tried to tie it into American affairs. I've criticized her for that. I'll keep criticizing her for that. What I won't criticize her for is this speech, which was 100% correct. The fact that it's gotten under your skin so much tells me, ooh, you know it's right too. That Ilhan Omar criticizing a country and then getting called an anti-Semite for it is something that the right-wingers did. You might recognize that little technique as the exact thing Fox News has convinced you that the left does to the right. You'll find, if you have the balls to look just a little bit, just have a little peek at the real world, you'll find that your side is full of something called projection politics. That is, where you constantly project your own failings on the other side. It's basically all you guys got left. It's real sad to watch. It's also really annoying to deal with because grown-ups then have to pause real conversations to address you idiots. My channel's not really about talking to you guys. My channel's about talking to the cool people that laugh at you. If you're imagining that liberals get together behind your back and laugh at you, you're half right. We don't do it behind your back. We do it publicly, like this, because you're funny. You're funny when you're dumb. You're somehow dumber than us, and it's punching up. So yeah, we laugh at you quite a bit. Basically, the purpose of this video is to have a chuckle at how dumb you are. But here's the thing. I'm not worried about converting you to my side. My side does not rely on whether or not you like me. It relies on whether or not the facts are correct. And I've yet to see you come with any facts. Not one fact. Not one opinion based on some statistic. Not one opinion based on any knowledge. Point is, it doesn't surprise me to see that every single criticism of AOC in the comments has not dared to touch a fact because you don't know them. You wouldn't understand what they mean if you read them. You know that's true. You know every time a Republican tries to speak up using facts, they get absolutely annihilated. And I think deep down, you know you're playing pretend. My point to you is that I'm going to laugh at you every time you try to walk into a grown-up conversation because you are not worth anything to grown-ups except as a target of our mockery. If you decide to put on your big boy pants and come join the conversation, we'll welcome you. You got to be upfront about what you don't know, and you have to make an honest effort to learn. Now, that might not be what you want to hear. I think you'll find if you take into account doctors, lawyers, and mechanics, the truth is oftentimes not the exact thing you were hoping to hear. Shreds. LOL. Okay, bartender. Yeah, I got kind of a bartender vibe. That one's fair.